Hello, welcome to episode 37 of the podcast. It is Clarky here with Phil.
Hello, hello.
So this week we're going to have a wee look at pressure, things that cause it, and things that potentially can help you get over it and round it, and wee tips and tricks, things like that. There's no stats whatsoever in this episode. It's all just us talking, which is a nice change, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So we hope you enjoy. So what would you say you feel the most pressure to either do or be or whatever? What's the thing that causes you to feel the most pressure?
To be a banana. No.
It's hard.
It's very hard to be a banana. To do well, just in anything that you're sort of set to do.
Yeah.
Whether it be something very small or something huge, you know?
Yeah. No, I know. I wish we had some stats for this one, but we just don't, by the way, just from the off.
Yeah, but stats are boring.
It's really hard to find anything about this because pressure's so relative, isn't it? So,
Relatively.
you know, yeah, oh, here we go. No,
Back in the time travel.
like, first thing you said about the banana, funny story, if you skydive, you're told to go into the banana position.
Yeah.
So if you don't make that, you probably are going to feel under pressure.
100%.
Quite literally, and also...
Just don't do the grapefruit position, that's sort of...
the ball.
Yeah, you
No,
sky bomb the place. Yeah.
No, yeah,
It's
if
like
you're
a big cannonball into the ground.
tandem, I don't know whether if you do it yourself you do that, but tandem skydive, you have to do like you have to
Stop.
practice it, no? Like head up, put your legs up, do like a banana shape.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how you become a banana. But
You skydive.
no, yeah, which is great. Honestly, you should try it.
Yeah.
But
That will leave all the stress and pressure in your life, I'm sure.
it really does because I always say, and I don't know if I've said it on this in any episode before, but whenever you jump or whenever you're pushed, whatever, there's two outcomes that you can be absolutely certain of. One, you're going to die because your parachute doesn't go and then the next one doesn't go, or you're going to land and you're going to be alright.
Yeah.
You know, those are the two.
Well, I mean, there's a third option where you could land and you could break your leg. I mean, it's...
Yeah, but if that's the case, you're still alright. You know, your legs are going to be alright.
But you can also get a claim as well.
That's whenever I yeah, probably, but whenever I
No,
like,
definitely you could.
well,
You're fat, you broke my leg, you pushed me! I said no!
But that's how they have, like, you know, they do the videos. They do the videos for like at one point in it they said to me like last chance, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, I was sort of like, yeah. So they have that on tape.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's also like part of your, oh, look at your experience, or whether it's like, okay, we've hit the ground, you've broke one leg. Well, you said you wanted to do it.
Well, yeah.
You know, but
One of those things.
but no, I'd probably agree with your thing. I reckon most people would probably agree in that, maybe not in everything, but in like certainly people with, I don't know, parents in good jobs might be like, oh, I really need to be in a good job, like my mum or dad, or
Yeah, that's true.
you know, in school, oh, I really need to get good grades because my brother or sister got good grades, or I need to get good grades because my friends are getting good grades, or they're all very external though, almost, but
Yeah.
internal in a way because you're sort of making yourself trying to be that standard, if you
Well,
know what I mean.
sometimes external pressure does lead to internal pressure, that's the thing. Internal pressure is not like pooing yourself or anything like that.
Yeah, I think you should probably explain those two because you had a wee thing on those.
I have a
didn't you?
little thing, just basically a little sort of tiny
The
thing on
difference.
them. Yeah, but I mean, it says internal pressures stem from pushing yourself too hard or from worrying about your ability to meet others' expectations of you and those that you have of yourself. So basically, just in anything, that whether it be jobs
Yeah.
or even just in any sort of time of life. I mean, even if you're like a friend or something, and
Or
just
just
people
no,
just say you're
yeah.
just a really bad friend. I mean, that could put
Yeah.
a lot of pressure on someone because you're like sometimes even more so than a job because I mean, you
Yeah.
don't want to lose your friends.
Because a job is 9 to 5, friends are for life, most of the time.
Terrible quote.
It's not.
Awful.
Someone's gonna get that tattoo.
No regrets.
Me.
External pressures come from the circumstances or other people around you. A micromanager, for example, making you work in a certain way or giving you a hefty workload that exceeds your capacity to deal with it. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
would say that would happen out in a lot of jobs, especially in this day and age because it's just,
Yeah, it's how much can we get out of one person for as little money as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a bit of a,
It's all about efficiency.
I've got a great efficiency on Destiny, it's great. Yeah. But yeah, it's just you can't put that amount of pressure on yourself regardless of. I mean, you can't just sort of expect yourself to be Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. Like you can't.
I know, but
you can't do everything. You just have to do it to the best of your ability, and that's just it.
I know. We all know, but the thing is that do we all know? I don't know, but like.
Well, clearly we don't because we're under pressure.
Because we feel it. Yeah, we've literally said it already. But the thing is, it sort of goes back to our last week's episode, right? So anybody that didn't listen to last week should probably listen to last week.
Before you carry on.
Before we finish. So yeah. Anyway, but basically.
We'll wait.
But basically, if you see somebody, for example, say you were in their year in school, or they were the year below you, or whatever, and you're like, oh crap, they bought a house.
Yeah.
Why have I not bought a house?
Yeah.
I've got a job, or no, they work for XYZ Limited. Why do I not work for them?
Because it's limited. So I'm just
no. I was for a second. I was like, what? No,
it's a limited company. It's limited edition.
But like
there was a great video like on Facebook I seen the other day about people saying about your time and stuff, and not.
Did you share that? Did I see it?
You probably.
I watched it.
It was
was that after I left? Last week?
No, that was about suicide awareness and mental.
Oh no, then I don't think I did see it.
There was one just basically about your time. I mean, just because someone else's life may seem they're ahead of you because they're doing certain things does not mean your time hasn't sort of
you've
got
got
to
your
that
own
bit
timeline.
yet.
Is that the fella who did the school video as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did see that one actually, but I don't know.
A lot of inspirational videos this man makes.
He does, but that's probably his thing because he speaks quite well, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's very true. Well, yeah, but he's very true in what he says. Like,
yeah,
just because someone else has bought a house doesn't mean you're going to buy a house at some point.
No, that's the thing. Like,
just means their house is going to be paid up before yours.
Oh, I don't know that.
Just joking. That's probably adds to the pressure.
Yeah, I need to buy one now.
I need to go buy one yesterday.
Gets up off seat.
I bought 17. I was under pressure.
They're all made of Lego. No,
I'd take that, to be fair. I'd love to live in a Lego house. Featuring Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Nice.
What are you, Ed Sheeran? What is that?
But no, like, I think if, as I said, I think a lot of seeing other people, but then you don't see, for example, like, I don't look at people, I don't know how to really say this without this sounding really rude, but like, I'm just gonna come out and say whatever comes into my head. It's not the way it's meant. But like, I don't look at people that are, for example, on the same standing as me, in exactly the same situation, or equally maybe that aren't in the same situation. I don't look at them and go, oh, look at them, they're nothing, you know. But I look at people that are like beyond where I would be right now, even if they are older. Sometimes you can be like, oh God, why have I not got that? That's a really nice car. That's a really.
He's
nice
78 years old.
Yeah. How the hell has he got grey hair? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you never look at like people and think, oh, I'm actually quite fortunate,
Well, sometimes you do.
I don't know.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you just feel sorry for some people,
Yeah, well, for sure.
Like if they not in like a dicky sort of way. Like if they're going through a certain bad time or something.
Yeah.
You're like, well, at least it's not.
Yeah.
It's terrible what's happening. Like, because you would think like, well, I've sort of.
Yeah. No. So I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
But you wouldn't be like, oh, that
if someone has died or something.
Yeah.
You won't be like, oh.
Doesn't happen to me.
So lucky.
Well, some people are, and they're pricks for doing that. But
yeah. I know.
But you wouldn't go like, oh, that guy's got one shoe on. He might have just lost it 2 seconds ago. Some crocodile could have come and grabbed it off his foot. You never know what happened to your shoe. You never know. Some vulture comes down and steals your shoe. You don't know. You could go, where?
One of those typical Belfast pigeons.
they could steal anything. They're about the same size as a 6-foot basketball player. Just like, come out like. But I mean, pressure is just it's different in all aspects.
Your shoes. Cool.
Did you just say cool? No. Not giving your shoes. But no, I mean, like, it's the same thing whenever, like, having something fun as well, because some people, in my perspective, are like doing gigs and stuff. Some people would be like, oh, no pressure there, it's all just fun. But whenever you're performing for maybe the first time,
oh yeah,
with a certain band as well, because you can perform for the first time with any God's amount of bands. You're going to have one ever first time gig, obviously, but just because you've done that doesn't mean it's going to erase that fear of you playing badly the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're playing with different people. But the time playing that one in Belfast, in City Hall, it was a big event for. What was that?
Sure.
I thought that was you going. But like that was pretty big for me because you never know who's listening to that one.
Yeah.
You know, because it literally is. It's different if it's inside an actual venue where all you can hear is inside the venue, whereas you're outside in Belfast City Hall. Anybody can come around and be like, "That's terrible. He's playing that for." Because it's Belfast, people just don't care. They just
pigeons. That's crap.
Yeah, exactly. The pigeons just fly by and go, and that's it.
Shang.
They're not a plane.
They are.
Okay, but no, it's things like that as well. Like you just never know where it's going to come from. Not obviously the pigeons, obviously,
sorry.
but it could
just
be.
Picture a different way the pigeons could do it whenever they flap.
Crap.
Yeah. Sorry.
Also crap at the same time.
Yeah.
That's just how.
And then insult the entry. Sorry, carry on.
But no, it comes from everywhere. It's not a great thing to have because like we've said earlier on before, pressure leads to stress, and stress can lead to any gods and other things.
Stress is the worst.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
that is terrible.
We did say as well, it's easier said than done to sort of say to yourself like, you can only do the best of your ability, but it's pretty hard doing that in a gig sense because you're sitting there playing the thing, and if you drop like a drumstick, you're like, ah.
Just start hitting it with your hand.
You just crap yourself, and because sometimes like if you're not like an actual professional drummer and you don't have like 700 drumsticks, you're sort of screwed there because you got to look for it and go, hey, where's the other drumstick? And if they chuck it at you and they drop that one, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
And some people have little pockets in their sets as well.
Start that again because you ruined that one.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
No, I know what you mean. It's funny though because I think a lot of what we feel is internal. Just going back to your external point as well that you mentioned about micromanagers and bosses and blah blah blah. I reckon a lot of people, self included, could. What's the word I'm looking for? Like agree with that one. Like they sort of would be able to go, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do get that a lot in work. I do get that because you're expected to hit this level, and if you don't, then your boss will be like, oh well, what's going on here? Actually, here, can you do this? Can you do this?
Well, there are certain targets in certain workplaces that you have to hit as well, and if you don't do them, then obviously you're going to be under pressure regardless. I mean, you could be given a couple of second chances, third chances, or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you don't do it for the 4th, 5th month in a row, then you're probably screwed.
No, literally, I know in certain, like, for example, like call center based jobs or certainly sales based jobs actually, that if you don't hit, say for example, you're tasked with getting 5 sales a day a week, 25 sales a week, say for sake of an argument, 100 sales a month, and you were to get 70, not bad, but it's not what they want.
Yeah.
So
they could just go. You're just a number. You could just get ready and then be like, right, we don't hit the targets, and it's a sackable. You could just get sacked.
Exactly. If you're not performing, that's correct. But like, it does come down to they're all external factors. So certainly people coming and saying, right, here's your things, here's your targets, here's your whatevers, make sure you hit those. But then they also sort of lead you then to your internals, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, right, well, I need to be amazing at this.
Oh, they're definitely connected.
But I'm not,
100%.
And if I'm not the best, then why am I not the best? And then that leads to, you know what? It's sort of like that whole path to the dark side in Star Wars. It starts off, and then you just start going down and down and down, and the next thing you've got, if you're really unlucky, you could have something like stress, anxiety, depression, anything, because you literally it's just got to you, and maybe that's yourself. You're going, oh, well, I'm not doing this. I'm not on a 40 grand a year job, and I'm 28. Why not? That was the plan. I don't have a house, and I'm 28. Why not? I'm not 28, by the way. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Because I probably told you you're 28.
I probably have said that often. Maybe that's why it's in my head.
You're believing it. He's right,
But Mom, can I have my birth certificate?
Definitely feel 28.
But no, like if you think about all that sort of stuff, like I'm this age. Why haven't I done this? Why does it matter? It's weird, but to everybody else, but to you it does. But to everybody else, you're like, but don't why?
No, that's the thing. That you can go up with your mates and just like, how are you? They don't ask about things like why are you still in that job after 40 years?
Yeah, they don't care. What job you doing? They just care. How are you? Are you all right? Happy enough? Yeah, I'm alright.
I mean, if you're that close to certain friends, and sometimes if they know you, if they know you're in a good enough job and you're getting enough money, they'd be like, "Oh, so pints are on you tonight," sort of thing. That's the sort of but there's no need to feel pressure because even if you are earning more than someone or earning less than someone, or if you're doing more than someone, or there's no need to have pressure because some people have that sort of reverse sort of thing where they feel pressured to sort of lower themselves to not make their friends feel as bad. You know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some people that do that, and it's
And
kind
there's others that do it the other way around.
where exactly,
Yeah.
where they just try and
They actually
get
lord
to
it
their-
over people and sort of go,
yeah.
well, actually, I earn 40 grand a year and I'm 23.
Yeah.
You know.
You're just like, shut up.
Well, I doubt that, but alright.
Yeah, like it is just stupid. Like, people do try to lower or even heighten themselves to
Yeah.
someone's level, which is just weird.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see the point in trying to be someone that you're not. You know, that's just
That's like that. Have you seen Coach Carter?
years ago. Like,
Remember the bit where he comes in and says the big speech in Coach Carter?
I don't remember the speech, but I remember the
You know what the whole
Yeah.
point behind it basically is, basically, don't dim yourself.
Yeah.
Just because everybody else, isn't. Let them be liberated by the fact that you can be open and honest and
Yeah.
free and be as good as you can be. Which is really cool. Like, I used to know the quote off by heart. I unfortunately don't anymore. But
we'll learn it then.
no. But like,
Pressure.
but the don't pressure me into it. But no, like I used to always. I think I've probably seen that film a lot more whenever I was younger because I always used to get to that part and I was like, that is flipping class.
Yeah.
But like I didn't really get it
At
if
the
you know what I
time,
mean,
yeah.
at the time. But like now I'm like,
you go through the whole sort of point before you could,
exactly.
It's the same as anything, really. You have to go through something before you can really understand it.
Yeah.
100%. Like, but
Exactly. But like that wee quote, actually, I'm almost certain. This might be a really random point, but I'm almost certain I have it on Facebook from whenever I first set it up. Now that I have just remembered.
what, on your profile thing?
Yeah.
As your little like about thing or something?
No, like you know the way you can have like quotes and stuff on Facebook, like inside your profile if you go
Oh.
into like like your about or I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I'm almost certain. Let me just check. Unless I deleted it.
If you did it, that's a real shame. If you didn't, then this one's made for that.
Yeah.
It's like you've foreseen everything happening.
I don't really know where it is anymore, unless I have got rid of it.
It'd be a real shame if you did.
I know that'd be pretty annoying. I think I have.
Jesus, sounded like that guy, Family Guy. I know.
Oh no.
There are different types of pressure as well. I mean, it's not just like obviously
Uh-huh.
feeling pressure in work and life and blah blah blah. There are
Yeah.
peer pressure as well, and to give it into certain things to become part of a certain
Be
group.
someone. Yeah.
Some people just sort of go into like if they don't have any friends and someone says you want to come into the group, and like I've seen so many people through like tech and through secondary school and stuff just sort of change
Yeah.
dramatically
Over time.
just to please other people.
Something I never understood.
Yeah, but I mean, fair enough.
But I might have when I was younger, but like I don't remember it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like. I don't know. I don't really remember. Like, because whenever you're secondary school, I think more in the early days than the later days. You are sort of more like, okay, where do I fit in here? How do I, what do I do?
I just didn't care.
No, but I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. But like, I'm almost certain because I've always said like, I had a good core group of friends in school. But like,
I don't think I had a really good core group of friends. I had a couple of friends, but I had friends from all different types of areas. Like I had a couple of chavvy friends, if you would say, and then some friends that are like on the rocker side and metaler side and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just really weird. Like I just got on with people who got on with me, and it wasn't much of a.
that's all you need. Like,
I don't see the point. Like I don't understand why you have to be so like.
This is my group.
Yeah.
But I think it was more just that, like, as I say, it wasn't just that I was like, well, I'm talking to anybody else.
Yeah.
Just these X amount of people. But it was like,
Nope.
it was just like,
There's a wall.
if we were like hanging out in like, I don't know, like the Sixth Form Centre or whatever.
Yeah. Or West Philadelphia.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's where we were born and raised. But what do you call it? We, if we were in there or sitting in there or whatever, then obviously, other people, you would speak to other people, but like,
Yeah.
if you would be like, here, do you want to go to the such and such canteen or whatever, there would be a certain amount of people who would be like, hi, because we'd always be around each other.
Yeah.
But I think in school, I think now, and this is completely conjecture, I have no idea if this is true or not, but I think that with how prominent like social media is, going back again last week's episode, beep, 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 that if it does as you said in your stats, like teenagers use like all of these like so much more than everybody else.
Yeah.
So there's no way they're not following like Love Island or something. I don't know, like whatever they watch, and like looking at the people that are on it, there's nobody average on that show. There's nobody that you'd be like, oh, here, he works in the butchers. Nope.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is some sort of model, or has had 6 plastic surgeries,
Yeah.
and had a sex tape released. Like, it makes no sense. So, like, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I
mean, I can't imagine
imagine
it being very
gets you
fun.
on that show. But, like, or your Danny Dyer's daughter. Perfect example. But, like,
She's not a model though.
I have no idea. I don't know. I just know she won it.
Oh.
But,
Well, did she win?
oh yeah, spoiler alert if nobody else has seen it. Yeah, she won it.
I
But
just know watched the final yesterday.
apparently the final that she won it like 70-something% of the votes.
70%.
Apparently.
Wow.
Don't know how true that is, but that's what I read in BBC. But anyway, like all those sort of people, they do project an image of, okay, I need to look like that. I need to find somebody who's my boyfriend who looks like that, or girlfriend who looks like that, or significant other who looks like that. I need this, and I need to like this music because it's cool, and blah blah blah. I'm almost, and again, this is I could be completely wrong, but I think, based on having an 18, 19-year-old sister, that is the case. You know,
Yeah.
they watch all this stuff. They watch the Kardashians. They watch all that. Like, I have to admit, I didn't watch any of that. I watched like Miami Inc. And now I'm thinking about it, I was influenced. But regardless,
Yeah.
that's not what we're here for.
But
So,
but it has happened. It's only more pronounced now because there's so many things you can just get it on. You can get it on the internet. You can get it on TV.
yeah,
Whereas see back in the 40s and stuff, like young kids want to be gangsters as well.
I know. Yeah,
Like
but
if they see guys walking in, like I mean, not
in a
saying like
striped suit.
yeah, like a pinstripe suit or something, or or people want to be like if they see not gangsters.
This is a stereotype. We're just completely.
We are very stereotypical. He's
Yeah.
wearing a pinstripe suit. He is definitely a
He's
gangster.
got a bobby gun. You know,
Yeah.
one of those. What do you call it? Is that a bobby gun?
Tommy gun.
Tommy gun.
A
Thank
Bobby
you.
gun. Oh, Robert.
It shoots
The
pins.
Robert gun.
It shoots bobby pins.
Pick them up. But no, like anybody in a suit, like back in the day, like any kids that seen that, they were like, no, but seriously.
No, I'm laughing at bobby guns.
But like they would be like, well, he's in the suit, so he's obviously doing well for himself. So
Yeah.
I want to be that way.
Yeah, whereas now it's, oh, he hasn't got any clothes on and has a six-pack. He's doing well for himself. I want to be like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where it's just, things have changed, but it's just like I've said, you can just see it a lot more now because of the way you got internet and stuff. It's just,
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, you could see people you could just see on the street, and if you were a kid, you're like, I want to be that guy.
Oh, there's Johnny Longlegs.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Here's
Johnny
a
Longlegs.
bobby gun.
Got a bobby gun.
That's an upgrade from
was
the
that
Tommy
was
gun.
that an attempt as a gangster name there, Johnny Longlegs?
What about what else?
Instead
do they
of,
call
instead
him?
of Daddy Longlegs. That sounds like a pimp. Daddy Longlegs. Right? But no, it's true. Like people just want to be
Johnny
for some-
Tight Lips. That's another.
tight lips.
Yeah, that's out of Simpsons or someone Tight Lips
Johnny
because he keeps on saying they like, ask him something. He's like, I'm saying no.
Oh, okay.
Him.
Yeah,
No,
all right, because they're enough. They have a gangster thing in it, like
Yeah, they have
Tony,
Fat Tony.
Fat Tony.
Yeah.
That's it. But no, like I mean, it's just happened throughout the years now. But even in school, whenever I was there and stuff, it's just so strange because there'd be some times where you would just because we have benches and stuff in our school, just in the playground and stuff.
Yeah.
You just sit down and
Have a chat.
have a chat and stuff, and you could just
Play cards, deal drugs.
do drugs. I mean, it's the
Whatever.
worst thing you would do, but
Yeah.
it's like you could just look around and just see these people just sort of change over the 5-6 years you were in school,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's weird because they used to hang about with each other in first year
I don't
until
like it, so.
yeah, and now they hate each other, and it's just because
I think maybe they just weren't
yeah,
very
but
compatible. And
100%. Like obviously that is your time to try and because you're still learning, and you're still trying to find out where you do fit in. But I mean, sometimes people do change quite a lot because it's strange whenever you see someone with a group of friends or a group of people, and then whenever you get them to one-on-one, they're nothing.
Yeah,
like
they're
what they
completely
were.
different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
You
really,
do find that though, like almost still.
Oh, everybody
You
does. Act differently around certain people. I think anyway, because you've got like I say, if I would say we would act differently around say because if I had a friend from like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'd be just like it'd be like an instant thing, just goofing about or something stupid.
Yeah.
Whereas we're like 5. I don't even know how long we know each other now.
Don't know.
But obviously,
Long enough. I don't know.
yeah, but we would still sort of be like that sort of way, but not like the same amount of obviously you would know someone from that long ago.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what sort of way you were brought up as well. I would think. I mean, unless your parents had no friends, and like I think that's kind of sad all the same as well. Like,
Yeah.
your parents had no friends. I don't need to have friends. Blah blah blah. Which is a bit sad all the same. Like, but
Yeah, because friends are important. Like I think.
well,
And I think as well, as much as they may add to pressure maybe a bit in certain ways, maybe without even meaning to, but they also help take away. Like if you think, dear only knows the amount of times I've came here and probably complained about work or whatever
Oh yeah, 100%.
at some point or another.
But I mean, we can still complain. I mean, a chat can still take away a lot of stress and pressure that's been put on your shoulders. Like it's regardless of who you talk to. That's why people encourage people to talk to literally anybody. I mean, even talking to a stranger on the street, you can get so many different perspectives on people you don't even know.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, yeah, well, fair enough. Because sometimes people just give you a different perspective that you wouldn't even have thought of.
Well, it's like you said earlier about how maybe it wasn't that long ago. About if I was here and somebody from 10 years ago was over there, it'd be a bit different. So like it's almost like that's almost like two perspectives of the same person. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like it comes around to as well. Like obviously a lot of these are like how you act around other people.
Yeah.
But like a big pressure, and I think maybe it's not something we completely understand just yet, but maybe to an extent is money pressures. Certainly
Financial
around,
pressure?
yeah, like certainly around. Especially the one that came to mind whenever I was thinking of this one was Christmas for parents. You know, because there's a lot of adverts that are into kids that are like, "Ooh, buy this Action Man has 3 arms and 7 legs, never seen before, kick in action, blah blah blah, only $49.99."
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's maybe in America, but you know, like.
Oh, well, it even happens here. I remember like years ago, like Hot Wheels and all came on the TV. It was like Hot Wheels. It was like boom,
Hot Wheels when it was flying around the track.
Kids used to go nuts for it, including me. I was like, "Oh, I need to get this. What is it? It's a van." Oh,
it shoots off a ramp and probably breaks.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah.
No, I know, but like if you think, and again, it's not really something we'll completely understand just yet, but like where you know you want to provide all that for your family and your kids and whatever, and then obviously specifically talking about Christmas at the moment, but sometimes you don't have the money for it, and you're like, well, I mean, my word, what am I going to do? This isn't going to be the best.
I would certainly say like even now, depending on obviously it depends if you have bills and whatnot as well, of course, but even trying to get things for your family at the minute. Because sometimes things are like, say if like, I don't know, even if your girlfriend or something wanted something that you were like, really? You want that? But you just get it anyway just because you're like, well, you know, why not? Whereas obviously families that do have like 2-3 kids have to get their husband or wife something along with their 3 kids, and then maybe even their mother-in-law.
If they have a sister with like a kid, then it's a nephew or niece or whatever.
Exactly. So it's like there's a lot of things going on, and it's always the lead up. Like the December time is just insane. Yeah. Because people can have that fun in October because it's Halloween. Yeah. And they can have that party at the end of the month if they do, or they can just have a bit of relaxing time. Mm-hmm. So whenever November comes, like,
oh flip, it's Christmas next month.
Time's on. Like it's just horrible time. Like I absolutely hate Christmas time.
I don't know. I hate it. But I love it at the moment because I don't have any of that stuff I just spoke about. You know.
Like, well, no, I just hate it in general. We've talked about this before. You know, my hatred for Christmas. I can't stand it at all. But
what's that episode like? Early episodes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. Like, but I mean, it's like financial wise, I don't think. Certainly, well, I don't think either of us do at the minute. Like, but
no,
certainly in due time we might.
Yeah,
hopefully we don't. But it is something.
If you ever have a house, and that I think that's when it'll really kick in because you're like, oh crap, this isn't free.
Yeah, mortgage payments and you know, and then obviously whatever comes in water bills could come in at some point.
Well, if you think there's on a house at the moment, now this is only again from what I understand, there's a mortgage, there's your ground rent, there's your what do you call it, rates. This is in Northern Ireland, by the way. There's your rates. If you have a gas installed, you have to pay your gas bill, your electric bill. If you don't have gas, then you probably have oil, which you have to pay for. You have to pay for your house insurance. If you have internet, pay for the internet. Yeah. And I'm sure there's other things that I'm not. Well,
there's any god's amount of things like as well, but I mean, England's
window cleaning.
Yeah, well, the UK, like, well, so when I say UK, I mean we're not really included in that at the minute, are we?
Great Britain, we're not in. We're in the UK.
Yeah. They have like water rates and everything there.
Yeah, they have water. Yeah.
Which is we have water as well.
Water and council tax.
We just pay for it.
Yeah, but they have to pay for their water and they have to pay for council tax as well.
Yeah.
But like, if you
and their rates are a lot more expensive.
I thought there was just council tax instead. I could be wrong. I don't know.
It's more expensive over there.
Oh no, it is. Yeah.
Like 10 times.
Well, it depends where you are. I suppose because like I was watching one of those location shows the other day.
Yeah.
And there was 2 brothers who wanted to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in London, and their budget was £485,000. Yeah.
Why,
2-bedroom apartment in London, 485 grand was their budget.
why would you want to do that?
I don't know, it blew my mind because the two brothers, they weren't going to share a bed, like, so.
Yeah, but why would you buy an apartment?
Because I think where they wanted to live in London was quite expensive, obviously, but like.
Yeah, but why would.
I don't get it, personally, but they wanted to do that. Whereas here, with 485 grand, you could probably buy 3 very decent houses.
Yeah.
You know, 170 grand, 160 grand.
Yeah.
You would be absolutely laughing at the houses.
I don't know why they just wouldn't, like, spend it and then get one house over here and just rent it off.
Yeah, like.
You get money back,
Yeah,
like, at least.
but basically, like, if you think of that is going to be extremely expensive to run.
Mm-hmm.
And keep, but then as you say, it's stuff that's sort of the same with the money pressures of Christmas and maybe other holidays like birthdays and whatever. Not really a holiday, but, occasions.
Yeah.
That we just don't really get right now because again, like for Christmas, like we probably buy for like, siblings, parents, girlfriend. That's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe nieces, nephews, maybe if you have them. I don't, but I know you do. But that'll probably be about it, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
maybe the odd one, aunt, maybe if you're close to anyone. But there's not that many. But then you probably still have to keep all those and then also buy for 3 kids if you have 3 kids or 1 kid or whatever. But kids, as we mentioned, their toys are not cheap.
Yeah.
So there is also that pressure of, how am I going to get them this? How am I going to get them that? Going to school even. You think of how much a blazer was.
Yeah, right enough.
Was it like 50 quid or more? I think ours was 80.
It's expensive, like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Expensive time of year, like September, and then,
Yeah, because you got to go through all that, and then a couple of months later it's Christmas time, you're like, oh.
Yeah, and like, I suppose, it's sort of funny actually, the more I sort of think about it, this is also linking back to my first point, about the whole money thing, is that if you think back to what I said at the start, which is, they have a house, they have a job, they have a car, that's all just money.
Yeah.
So maybe it's more like, I wish I had more of that, although it's sort of not as well because I sort of wish I had a better job, but that's just me. But
I mean, you also have to have the partner to do that with as well, though.
What do you mean?
Like, if you're wanting to go and buy it, I mean, I can't imagine you go and buy a house.
Not
unless, of course, you're like...
Not with like 100 grand.
Yeah, but not, like, of course, if you're like not inclined at all to, find anybody or whatever, and you just obviously go and buy yourself an apartment or whatever,
yeah,
blah blah blah. I mean, that's different, of course, like, but you would need to have the time as well, and it's, I don't know if it's like a job sort of thing or anything like that. I just think that sometimes people just want the stuff that other people have, and they're annoying themselves that they don't have it, which is probably why. I don't think. I mean, they probably could afford it. It's just they don't have it, I think.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you sort of think of it that way, like, I could certainly have a much nicer car, but I choose not to because I put money away for other things, you know? So
you have to save. I mean, at the end of the day, not everything comes down to what you have at the minute. It's about what you want for the future.
That's true.
You could have any God's amount of things right now, and then you could just screw yourself for like 5 years down the line with having no savings whatsoever. You just spend all your money coming in every month you have.
See, that's where pensions come into things. I always think, I'm probably not putting enough away in that thing.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm like, but if I put any more away in it, then I can't put enough away for a house. And blah, blah. I was speaking to my mum the other day. See the first house her and my dad bought? 35 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, well, we're our generation's buggered.
We are screwed. Like.
Yeah, it's very expensive, like
35. I was like, 35 grand. I could like save for like another few years and buy it.
Yeah,
and that'd be it.
Yeah, we're buggered, like absolutely.
It is just nuts.
Yeah,
like I don't understand.
Back in the day, like that was obviously still quite a lot of money for the wage that people were on as well.
I don't know. I don't know what their wages were like, but maybe it's just because thinking back now.
So.
Yeah, probably. And
I can't imagine people getting paid £10 an hour back in the day, like.
Probably not, but like we're talking, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what would I don't know what the wages would have been like in the 90s, but surely, like, for example, I don't know, like a nurse wouldn't have been on like 15 grand.
No.
Surely.
No, probably not.
And my mum was a nurse.
I don't know. I just think we're financially screwed. Like, I mean, people that have obviously been working since like 1980 80s, 70s could pay for a house now because they've obviously got their pension coming in.
Well, yeah, exactly. But then if you think, like, see, I remember reading a thing a while ago that we are going to be the first generation that actually make a net loss.
Yeah.
On, like, for example, the NHS and all that other thing. We're actually going to put more in than we're ever going to take out.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Because if you think about it, we're putting more in for our parents' generation and their parents, grandparents' generation.
Yeah.
That put less in to use it.
Yeah.
So by the time we get there, to that age, if we're lucky enough, you know, what's it gonna be like?
Well, we'll not get half of the amount of good care that people are getting now, like, that's for sure.
We say good, yeah.
I can't imagine.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, they try their hardest at the minute,
exactly.
and it's completely...
They've got one arm tied behind their back. Really.
Exactly. So, in like 50, 60 years... Well, I mean, that's pushing it, really.
40 years.
Yeah, 40, 50 years, maybe. We'll have both arms tied behind their backs and they don't know what to do.
We'll all just die in the street.
Well, I mean, no one really knows what's going. Like, no one knows what the future holds. Like, that's the problem at the minute. I mean, it really sucks reading these things online because maybe that adds to the pressure as well because you're just like, I mean, no matter what I do here,
I'm gonna lose.
I've lost everything. Like.
Yeah, no, that's actually a funny way to look at things because whenever I read that, I was just like,
What's the point? What's the point then? Yeah.
Like, if we're just gonna get hammered, what's the point? Yeah. Like, if you think about it, like I mentioned earlier, you know, people that have houses.
But this is in the UK, though.
Yeah.
This isn't any other country.
No. Specifically talking about UK and more probably specifically about this country.
Yeah.
That, you know, I looked at other people and think, how the hell have you got a house?
Yeah.
You know, but then again, it comes down to, you know, our parents probably had houses younger than we are now.
Yeah.
But it's because they cost nothing.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, you want a house? Oh, it's £170,000. Just 135 grand more than your parents paid.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
You know.
With like whatever how many is, I mean, the deposits are near enough like half of what they paid back in the day.
5 to 10%, yeah, but it tends to be the standard deposit. But you know, if you look that up, it ends up being like, oh yeah, you'll be paying this mortgage for 40 years. Yeah. You know, the entire time you're working, you might enjoy it for 10 years, then you'll pass it on to your kid.
Yeah.
Because you'll be dead.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, I mean, it doesn't make much sense to sort of live here anymore.
That's crazy.
You just sort of like, oh, okay, well, that's what we've got to look forward to then. But I mean, then, you could just leave and just try and get it. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously.
No, it is, because every other country is even expensive. If you look now at, if you ever watch those location programs where, not location ones, but like the ones where, you know the twin brothers, the American twins?
Mm.
One on like sells a house and one on does it up.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called, but there was an episode a while ago where they walked into this American house, and no offense to the people who owned it, it looked like a pile of crap.
Mm.
And he was like, you know, how much do you think this is worth? And I thought they were going to be like 100 grand. They were like $250,000.
Mm.
And I was like, what?
Mm.
So if I went to America right now, I'd be living in a shed, basically, judging on what these houses are worth.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even like this big city. It was just the most random place. And it was like 250 grand for like a 1-floor, 3-bedroom house.
That's strange because American houses are quite cheap compared to what we pay.
Like they're not like really really well built like these.
Yeah.
You know, they're like wood timber frame things. Like, you know, they're like flat packed almost. But
that's why their houses seem to just fold in a bit of water against them. Like it's.
I don't know. Like I just as I say, like I just watching this and I was like 100 grand, 250. I was like, what?
Yeah, but you do find things like it's insane the amount of pressure money just puts on people's shoulders. It's just you just no idea where you're gonna go.
Yeah, like you don't know whether your money's even gonna. Like, I wonder whether, you know, 20 years ago, whether our parents were like, oh, I wonder if this money's gonna work. You know, I wonder if we're gonna have enough. I don't know if they ever really had that issue. Like, judging on how much their salaries have started to increase or had increased, certainly, but the value of their mortgage would have stayed exactly the same.
Yeah.
So where we might be spending, for the sake of a number, £500 on a mortgage, they might even be spending like 100, which means they have £400 extra money. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I'd just love to know. I'd love to get some statistics on what sort of, you know, the polls. Like, I mean, how much were they on? How much was a mortgage for an average house a month? Or, you know, because I can't imagine it being that easy. Because because
Yeah.
all you hear about is people like saying about their struggles back in the day about their the market and stuff and it being a bit of a mess. But then but that's what I'm saying. You look at it now and you're just like, how could it be any more of a mess than what it is now? How? If it was, then I mean, how can anybody own a house then?
Yeah, which is weird because if you think about it, like there's even these things where more people are renting, I'd say, now than ever.
Which is really, really grim.
Yeah, and also
because you're just throwing away money.
There's co-ownership.
Yeah.
As well, so like you don't even own your whole house.
No, you have to wait until
crazy.
However many years and then you pay off the next.
And then you can buy it off the bank or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but it really is. It's one of these things that it's like we've spoken about so many different ways there that pressure can come at you, but I suppose it comes down to how do you deal with it, because we've sort of talked about excuse me, a lot of different places it would come from, and well, probably some of our complaints and sort of pressures have come out sort of a bit there, I think, in that how the hell are we supposed to, I don't know if this is just a generational question, but how the hell are we supposed to have the same stuff that our parents did if we're earning more money, but the houses are in comparison 5 times
you're earning more money, but you're spending a lot more.
A lot more,
well.
yeah, a
so
lot more.
It doesn't really matter what way you look at it. Like it's hard. I mean, there obviously are ways of dealing with it. Like,
yeah.
There's not going to be something that you just can't deal with, considering like the amount of help you can get these days.
And that's something we always say on this, is that speak to somebody, because there's always someone that'll understand and they'll be able to help, even if they can't understand, then they'll be able to help you through
but
it.
Your parents are by far the best people you should talk to about it. And if not, even grandparents, if not them, then aunts, uncle.
Speak to your mates.
Yeah.
They're always there as well.
Exactly.
They're going through the same stuff you are.
Yeah, because they're probably still worrying about how they're going to pay for a house in 2-3 years' time.
How you paying for a house if you want to get married, also a wedding,
yeah.
If you want to pay for that, how you going to afford a kid, how you going to do this, that and the other.
Sometimes even dogs are quite expensive as well with their bills and stuff.
Exactly, insurance and dogs and
because you never know what exactly your dog's going to have.
Yeah.
You can have it as a puppy, be healthy as an ox, and then just nope.
Next thing, it's just couching.
Yeah, doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's got no legs and no teeth.
It'd be sad, wouldn't it?
Awful. I'd grin every day.
Oh no, you just come downstairs like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But no, I find a couple of things. No, we both did on how to deal with pressure.
Yeah.
So there's 4 different things I have. One of them is identify your triggers. So basically, it's what this website is called, like mind.org or mind.co.uk or something like that.
Mine's Mind Tools.
Oh no, different.
Scary biscuits.
But
a bit of a plug-in.
Basically, what this says about identifying your triggers is to work out what actually triggers stress for you, triggers that pressure, and then you basically anticipate and think of ways to solve them. So even if you can't avoid them, being prepared can actually help you. So, for example, if you were to take some time and reflect, we've just sort of spoken there a bit about things and maybe contributing to the pressures and stress. So, for example, like money or whatever. So like issues that come up regularly, you need to consider those. They're things, for example, money, as we discussed. So they're things you have to have all the time. One-off events. So, for example, we discussed houses, buying a mortgage and whatever, or doing an exam. Consider that. And then ongoing ones. So, for example, if say you're a carer for someone, or you've issues at work that are just going on all the time, or issues at home, whatever, things that are ongoing, they're all different types of potential triggers for you to be like, oh, that's really stressing me out. So what this site suggests is basically, consider this either by yourself and go, okay, right, what stressed me out today? Was it work? Was it playing the Xbox with Johnny Bravo and getting really stressed out? Or was it whatever? Then pick up on those and sort of address those issues first and sort of say, right, I know that bothers me, so how do I fix that? Do I not do that? Do I do it another way?
Yeah.
Do I address the problem head on by going to speak to my boss, for example, if it is an ongoing stressful event? If it's a one-off one for like a house, that might be a good one where you could speak to someone who already has moved, done it before, how they did it, who they spoke to, who you're moving in with, if you're moving in your own, whatever, and speak to them, speak to your friends if it's just you. And then the money thing, I think that our appointment is actually another one, which is something that comes up regularly. Maybe people go to the doctors quite a lot, or maybe they have to get prescriptions or whatever. Again, if that's a trigger that you're like, oh my word, this is stressing me out, I'm feeling really under pressure because of this, then that's the time where you really have to, this is what this website says, is just look at that and go, okay, so is there anything I can do about this? If so, what? If not, okay, then there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
So
It's rough. Like it's okay. It's basically like admitting these things. It's hard to do because I don't know. Just sometimes you don't really have the time to sit down and go, what happened? Like.
yeah, I almost think it's, but I always think that sometimes. Like always think that sometimes. I think that sometimes that if I always try and catch myself on if I'm saying like I don't have time for that because
You do.
I do because I could sit and watch an episode of Community and be like, okay, I just had 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But then I would say this to a friend, and he would always say to me like, but you need that.
Yeah, of course you
You
do.
need that 20 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is. If you feel like you literally don't want to do anything else, then don't.
Yeah.
He would always say, don't worry about, going on a run, or don't worry about, I don't know, whatever, go on the Xbox for a stupid example. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just watch the TV for 20 minutes if you want to switch off. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, basically, what that whole point was, basically identify your triggers and address your triggers. That's my first point.
Yeah. Well, there's things here basically that says about your weak spots.
Right.
So it says, consider how your ability, personality, and self-confidence and the complexity of your work might influence how much pressure you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you address your weak spots, and then you just balance the influences you have that basically you thrive on.
Yeah.
To make it's obviously in the workplace. That's completely different. That's not life to life sort of. You can't. I mean, you could sort of do it in life if you were to sort of, I don't know. What would you get stressed about or feeling the pressure about whenever you're doing something when you're not at work? Like it's not like it's.
It could be a relationship pressure, maybe.
But then what would you do? You would discuss that with your partner and say,
or
what is
say, I don't know, like say one of your mates was going away on an expensive weekend with the girlfriend, and you're like, oh god, I can't afford that.
Mm.
And you're like, oh, why can I not afford this? Why can that'd be something, as you say, you could discuss with your significant other, or you could just talk to your mate and be like, what do you reckon I can do? Not be like, don't you dare go, but be like, you seem to be doing this, decent amount, it's class, like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Maybe have a chat with them. It's funny, all our stuff always comes back to talking, having a chat. It really is just the best thing to do.
That literally is the best thing you can do, but obviously if you don't, if you're not a talkative person, sometimes obviously
it's hard.
It is hard to do, but sometimes just sort of, not talking to yourself as such, but just sort of sitting down for about 5-10 minutes and just thinking to yourself, like, what is there I can do that can even make this day a bit better? Or,
yeah.
Because sometimes people absolutely hate going into work. They have pressure, there's so much pressure going into work because they've got to obviously hit those goals and stuff, and sometimes the pressure is too much and that causes you not to perform well.
Yeah,
which is what this is all about. You got to find out your weak spots. Why don't you perform well in certain things?
Yeah.
Does your boss come in and sort of overshadow you an awful lot, or does he or she tell you to do whatever? Or it's maybe it's a coworker that you talk to too much.
Yeah.
And you don't have that time. That you don't.
Go
Sometimes
spend that half an hour.
Yeah, well, but you don't understand. Like, I mean, you can't really. Unless you look at the clock every 2 seconds, you don't know how fast time flies whenever you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, no,
that's the
it's
thing.
sort of funny because the odd time we turn around like, holy crap, 45 minutes.
And sometimes it's been like 17 hours. And we're like, oh wow, there you go.
Oh well, we need to cut this one.
17 episodes. There we go. But so basically, just address your weak spots and just try and better yourself on them to try and.
Because that'll help you get away from those pressure. And
stress. Exactly.
Cool. That's actually perfect because you bring that perfectly into my next one because the last thing you mentioned was time. So this next one then is organise your time.
Yeah.
So
I've got that one as well. Be organised.
Oh, do you? Okay.
It's very rough to be organised sometimes,
It is, but this one gives you...
Life can be so chaotic.
It can. Literally, it's pure nuts. But this one comes in with some really nice, wee, simple points. So basically just making some adjustments in a way. So for example, the first one is identify your best time of day. Like, for example, do you work best in the morning, the afternoon, or at night?
Yeah.
Then say, okay, so I work best in, this is just not me, but say I work best at 11 o'clock at night. So I'm going to leave my important task at 11 o'clock at night whenever I'm going to be really switched on. I'm going to have all my concentration and I'm just going to go straight for it then. And that's when I'm going to be more comfortable doing my things. And I'm not going to worry about the rest of the day because that's when I've set aside to do it.
Yeah.
This is something Rachel really likes to do, make a list. So... For example,
like your objective sort of thing?
Yeah, so like something really simple. Like say for example, I was really ill on a Saturday, right? So she can make a list and go, okay, so I'm not doing anything today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy my room, I'm going to wash my car, I'm going to get Andrew a man flu pack from Tesco, and I'm going to get fuel.
Who?
Oh, I just said my real name.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's how she says it though.
Yeah.
Imagine that, I'm going to Clark you
and then, you know, but she would just go down that list and just be like, done that, done that, done that. And then at the end of the day, she sits down, you know, it could be 5 o'clock, but she could literally sit down and be like, I've done stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
it's weird because there's things like people. I read this thing the other day about people suffering from dyspraxia.
What's that?
It's like it basically coordinate. You have some sort of rough idea, like you can't coordinate things properly. You've got really bad coordination. You can't basically do certain things very well. But
Yeah.
that's a very rough thing from what I read on it. But basically, you can just be given little tasks to do to make you feel as if you're you're doing something.
Stuff,
It's the same thing with people see with like dementia and stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's what they can get given little tasks and stuff to go and just sort of keep them busy and just to make them feel as if they're actually doing something, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, making a list can easily make your self-esteem feel a lot better because you actually think you've actually done something throughout the day and you haven't wasted anything.
It's actually perfect again. It's like you're reading this over me almost. So the next one is set smaller and more achievable targets. As you say, it just makes you like, yep, done that, cool, done that. Like literally something like, you know, water plants, easy, done, one thing off the list.
It does help though. I mean, that's the reason that I genuinely believe that's the reason why gaming is so successful.
Yeah. Because you just do one target, you're like, nice.
Yeah, but you feel as if you've done so many things. Like, not even joking. Honestly, it's so stupid, right?
You're reading this, I swear to God. Next point, vary your activities.
I wish I was, to be fair, but I promise you, I'm not on the same site. Even though one's called Mind Tools. What's yours called? Mind what?
Like mind.com or mind.org or .co.uk.
But no, but I genuinely believe, like, see this whole solstice thing that's come with Destiny recently?
Yeah.
The fact that they've got 5 bits of armor you need to go and do certain things on. People just absolutely love that. They just eat it up. They're like, oh, look at this, I've just done like 17 tasks today.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 hours in.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But I mean, it's just so weird that you can go like, yeah, done that, and then once you've turned it off, you've done nothing.
Yeah, literally.
You've done nothing.
Literally.
Well, tidy my room now, and then, that's me.
Quite literally.
It's just crazy how that can work, though.
That's funny. That was weird. That was the whole way down. You were just like, that one. Okay, I've got that one. You were like, just going down the list. Go ahead, I'm done.
I've got boost your self-belief. So, it's easier said than done, of course.
Yeah.
But it says here, so pressure often stems from doubting yourself about your abilities. Or effective best self, finding your unique strengths and strengths finder. So there are 3 things you can go on and basically make a list for yourself. Basically like a pros and cons list for yourself. What are you good at? What are you not so good at? And they can help you appreciate your qualities and work on your self-belief. So people always say, like, I mean, if you were to talk to anybody, that's like almost a thing just to go, oh, don't worry, you're better than that. Just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done, of course.
Exactly.
But if people could...
Are you really good at? No, I'm not.
But there was a thing I read the other day. It was like you managed throughout your childhood, you believed in Santa for like 10 years. You can believe in yourself for 5 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Like it is such a small thing to even say. Because how can you believe in someone with no proof apart from your dad dressing up as Santa or even your mum?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Uh-huh.
What were you saying about? You were doing like little hand gestures there. For any kids listening, Santa is definitely real. You should you should definitely. I don't know why any kids would listen to pressure, because if you've got pressure as a kid, then
I think you do.
God, as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Especially now, because they're all on these sort of Snapchats and stuff.
Snapchats.
I don't know. I'm not.
These are all these social media.
Medias.
All these social medias on the Reddits and stuff. Yeah, well, I don't really know if we've got pressure to suppose. It depends, though, doesn't it? I mean,
Why are your shoes not cool?
Yeah.
You know, kids are mean.
Yeah, I suppose, like, but
They have no filter.
But then back in the day, like, I remember whenever you used to go like out and about with your mates and on your bikes and all, and you'd be like, oh, Jimmy got a new bike there, and he's got like a mud guard in the back and front.
Oh, do you remember mud guards?
Yeah.
Or what do you call them? Things that stuck out the back and front of your BMXs. People used to stand on them and get baggies.
Trick nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or baggies. Anyway.
There's a baggie. I've only got one trick nut. I can just stand on one foot. Don't worry, mate. Just completely lean your bike to the left hand side. Can you get off? No, mate. I hated people used to buy 2 So
Put one on each side.
Yeah.
As in one on.
one on the left and one on the
Yeah.
right. So they just like put their legs in like splits.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Just get off.
Fuck Egypt. Like self-control.
Okay.
We all know that our emotions can run high and we have to do when we have a lot on our plate. So it's important to develop your ability to cope in these situations. They've also got other articles here. Managing your anger.
Right.
Sometimes that can just throw you off completely.
The stress can almost lead to that, you know. Like.
Oh, stress can, yeah.
And pressure
100%.
can almost push you. That's almost like whenever you put like a teapot on the boil, not on like our electric ones, but if you put one on like a
On gas.
yeah, and it'll eventually bubble through and go out
Yeah.
the top, you know.
Yeah.
Cause, and then you're just like, because you can't put too much pressure on it. It's just
That's what happens. Like, but obviously, these articles are about managing your anger, showing your patience, and using emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are things out there. Like, obviously, we've said about talking to people and stuff, but there are an awful lot of things out there that can help you.
Yeah.
And if you do, because some people to get really angry just like that,
Yeah, they can.
it's insane. Like, I know I've got angry about the smallest of things. Like, you know those days where you're like.
Everything just annoys you.
Yeah, like the littlest of things. Like you could.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was a kid, like putting on a t-shirt, and I put it on the wrong way, and just took it off, just threw it on the ground. I'm not wearing that
That's
t-shirt.
done.
Not wearing the t-shirt today.
Yeah.
I didn't even know why I did. I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like it just
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't a good idea at all at the time because I think I ripped it as well. Yeah. Energize yourself.
Yeah.
Without energy, you're likely to feel flattened by pressure,
Yeah.
and lack the drive to tackle it. So pump up your energy levels to regain your focus and improve your ability to withstand and respond to it.
I sort of get that because, say for example, see
Coffee.
at work. No, I can't do coffee anymore.
No, you
Made me
don't.
feel very sick.
Yeah.
But whenever, say for example, although it did work, see in the morning, I was like, "Foo spike."
Yeah.
But then it would gradually go down, and then I hit
Was that like
lunch.
a weird martial arts move? Was
Foo spike.
Don't do that hand gesture again.
Oh dear, yeah. I just realised what that was. Oh dear. Anyway, I would have that big spike in the morning. But then see come lunch, I would eat and then be like, "Oh, I'm tired now."
Yeah.
And then, but it would only be later in the afternoon I'd pick up again.
It's because of your food.
Yeah, so like no,
Yeah.
I try and take lunch at the same time every day, so my body knows it's coming.
Yeah.
And then it sort of, because obviously your body gets in your rhythm.
Yeah.
And then it sort of peaks. Because like for example, I had to take an hour and a half later lunch today, just unfortunately at work.
Yeah.
Which meant I didn't get lunch till 2:30. And by 2:30, I was just like, I was blowing smoke like I was knackered.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
From
knackered.
on steam.
Yeah, I was knackered like, but yeah, I agree with that. I guess.
Yeah, so would I. I think it obviously comes down from eating and drinking. That's definitely one thing you can do that. But even like what you said earlier on about setting yourself certain tasks,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that can energize you to do certain things.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I've done these 3 things here. I've got like 2 hours left.
Flying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can energize yourself in that there sort of way. Ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to ask for help if you feel
There you
under too much pressure. Decide where the pressure is coming from and ask your boss, your colleagues, friends, family, or whoever in your support network is appropriate for advice or help. Which some people think it's a bit hard to ask your boss because you don't really know what sort of
Yeah,
answers are going to
are they
give
gonna
you.
be like, well, you're just being lazy here, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because sometimes people can just there are those things you can leave through. You can have like a 2-week stress thingamajig from.
It's usually 4 weeks.
It's usually 4 weeks, is it?
Stress usually 4 weeks. And then they give you, then they reassess you, and if you're still not good, they'll give you 6, like another 2, you get 6. But they try not to give you this. Apparently, I don't know how true this is. A lady in work did tell me that whenever she, to be honest, it was a really bad time for her. Like she was really, really sort of busy in work, but her husband was also dying of cancer.
Oh.
So they gave her it off for home, not work, because apparently it's not as good. But I know people that have been off on stress, like my auntie, for example,
Yeah.
and she's never had any problem with a job. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how true that was. I think maybe she was just saying that.
Well, I suppose you never know. Like, but
then I thought about it, and I thought, well, maybe an employer would look at that and go, "Oh well, they're getting stressed out in work. That's not good."
But then
But they don't know the scenario.
I don't necessarily think it's about being stressed in work. It might just be because they're not stressed in work. They just can't do the work because they're stressed at home.
Possibly, I don't know. Maybe I thought into it too much. I probably did, but
Well, you never know. Like, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's the reason why no employer can be like, you're sacked.
yeah, because you're stressed. Yeah,
Because you can't. You can never see things come like that.
Exactly.
Like, it's literally
Exactly.
impossible. That's all my stuff done as well.
Yours
So,
good?
Yeah.
I've got one more.
Oh dear.
So, but it's just a really good one sort of to finish up on as we come
Teach
up to
yourself
the end.
a superpower.
It's just become massive. No, accept the things
I
you
do that
can't
every-
change. That's just it. Accept. Oh dear.
I do apologise. I didn't think about that at all.
No, you forgot it's live. No, accept the things you can't change. So, while it might not be easy, accepting there's some things that happen to you probably can't do anything about will help you focus your time. And then there's just a wee sort of quote to have at the end of this page, which is, sometimes I take a minute to reply to my stressed thoughts. It's hard not to be stressed when you've got it's hard to be stressed when you've got things in perspective. Most of the things people worry about are either things we can't change or things that aren't earth-shatteringly important.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's just really tough to sit down and go, I'm going to put things into perspective here.
Yeah.
Because you're stressed.
Because you are. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing. Like, I do like the point. I do understand where it's coming from. But at the same time, you know, say, for example, you know, I've having a really stressful week in work. I can't go home and be like, it's okay. It's okay. We will get... I'll still be coming in the 9 the next morning being like, oh, God.
But I do believe in, like, leaving everything at the door. You know,
yeah, I
both
try to
ways,
do that.
leave your
Try to do that.
It is. It's tough,
hard, yeah.
But
at the same time, you know, whenever if I do bring it home, it is sort of like a wee, oh, this happened today, and then I just get it out, and then that's it.
Well, the majority of the time, I mean, whenever we're doing the podcast and stuff, we would probably chat for about an hour and a half, 2 hours before we even start, and that's not just because we're not gonna go right podcast 7:00.
I see there.
Be done by 8, and then you know, like that's not how things work.
No.
Just because we talk for an hour doesn't mean we don't talk outside of that as well.
Exactly.
And
or do we? Head stop. Right. See you next week.
Damn it. But yeah, look, it literally for some reason, don't understand why, but literally every single point we've made tonight, basically, just talk to someone. That's literally.
It helps.
It helps significantly. It's ridiculous how much it helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even realize because you're like.
Yeah, because you might feel like it hasn't, but then, for example, say you've been having trouble sleeping because of work, you might, you know, go home, have a chat with your mates or your significant other or your parents or whatever, and the next thing you're like, here, I slept alright last night.
Yeah.
You might not have felt like it made any difference, but it could have. You never know.
Just once you release all that stuff, you're sweet.
Yeah. So I suppose that's our final point. Have a wee chat about stuff, and just try and get everything in perspective.
Try.
Yeah.
Because it is tough.
Exactly. Insert Coldplay song here.
Oh. I hate Coldplay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll call it that an episode, folks, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye!